I'll tell you what, I like staying on this side of the border. I'm just saying, it's a lot easier getting over here to Buffalo than Canada. Anyway, it's been good so far.
So this is your first time here?
First time.
What have you done so far? Have you been able to check out anything?
I've been traveling a lot, man. Literally, it was like China and Holland and Dubai. And if you guys follow me, I can't even follow myself sometimes. My body's pushing buttons before I even figure out where I'm at. My mind's still over there in Tampa, so it will be walking here soon. So I went from Tampa, had to do martial arts academies and things like that, and met with a girl, Melody, who does a really good, strong program called Skills Martial Arts. And we're looking about opening some schools around the world and, all that stuff. So I'm excited about that. So it was a straight martial arts. I used to do a lot of martial arts seminars, business meetings, and just trying to help people, I think, be a little bit more successful in their schools, to be more successful in the community. If they're successful and they have more people in their school to teach. And I think karate schools kind of change people's lives, kind of like what Power Rangers has, right?
Yeah.
I've heard so many stories now, how I was a mentor and how I'm like their conscious voice. Right? Not in here, but he said that voice comes through him and keeps him straight.
Sure. So when I was a kid, I actually had you did a video about martial arts.
Yep.
And you were not Tommy Oliver or a Green Power Ranger, you were yourself. And I remember thinking, like, man, if I follow this guy,
yeah,
I could be a Power Ranger. Yeah. It didn't happen, but I tried.
Well, so, you got the ponytail, and that's for sure.
I gotta know, since you brought it up, I wasn't gonna bring it up, but since you did, when did you decide to cut the hair? Because I liked the ponytail as a kid.
I had the ponytail for such a long time, doing kicks and spinning kicks that would, like, the ponytail would hit me right in the eye. I don't know about your hair, but my hair wasn't straight.
Mine's not either, it curls a little bit.
And I had to, flat iron it, and I got there before Amy Jo, and then, my brother had straight hair. He played David Trueheart, played my brother on Zeo, and he had perfectly straight hair, straight teeth. My teeth are a little crooked, and I just hated that about him. And my hair was curly, and so in the Turbo movie, I did not do anything. I just said, don't touch my hair, man. I just do it. I wanted to look. I was tired of getting into makeup early, and I just all natural look. So sometimes people are like, "Did you perm?" I was like, "No, dude." Just as bad. I have flat iron, so it's the same thing, right? So, but then I cut my hair when I was 20. Right after the show, I kind of cut my hair for a different look, and I got to tell you, to look for a haircut guy. I don't know where he exists today, but his name was David Drew. And I Googled so many people in Hollywood to be like, oh, this is a really big deal for me, like someone's gonna cut my hair, I need to make sure it's a perfect haircut. And I looked at this guy, David Drew, who cut Lorenzo Lamas' hair and, dropping names. And I went there and I spent way amount of money for like a haircut I could do myself. And no offense if David's ever watching this, like 120 bucks for a haircut or whatever at that time. Yeah, so after that, I just decided to cut my own hair. And I cut my hair for like 6 years, that's why it was very uneven, but that was the kind of look, you know what I mean? And then I grew my hair back because I knew I was going to be in the movie. I didn't know, but I spoke it because that's just what you got to do, put it out in the universe and it will happen. So I started growing my hair out and everyone was, oh man, you're growing your hair out for a reason, what's up, what's up? And then I did the first cameo with long hair. And then after that I had Bloodshot, I booked Bloodshot, and so I went to the Bloodshot haircut, And in Hollywood, sometimes you gotta like gain weight, lose weight, and you gotta fit your role sometimes. And with Bloodshot, I was fighting at like 210 to 220 and then super heavyweight. I walk about 195 to 200. For Bloodshot, specifically, Bat in the Sun said 210, and the script was written for me. So that was a nice subtle way to say, get back to 210. And then I shot Bloodshot. I'm really strict on hitting my goal. So I was about 210, 212. And then I was afraid I was just going to keep going up, so I had to get right back down to do some other stuff. So it's like I tell people, I'm really anal on making goals and doing things. And for me as an actor, you all don't have to worry about it so much, but I have everybody looking at me, everybody judging me, everybody saying you look this, you look that, you look older, you look skinny, you look, mean people out there. So for me, I travel with the scale and I try to stay spandex ready. So I kind of know what I need. On cons, I don't eat that much. That's why I was just trying to eat a sandwich real quick before I came out here, because we got photo ops and stuff. And then the VIP tonight. The VIP tonight is, I think it's, who's in the VIP tonight? You know what's cool about the VIPs is a little bit, I don't know the promoters doing it, but what's cool is a little bit more quiet, a little bit more subtle, and you get all your questions answered, and so it's a little bit, I haven't done them in a while, so the promoter here put this on, so it's cool. It means very important Power Ranger, no, I'm just kidding. Very important person. So, anyway, I think tickets are still, I don't know if they're sold out or not, but if you want to look into it, you might look into it.
We'll find out for you, we'll let you know.
But I'll be here no matter what.
There you go. So you have been in the most Power Ranger episodes of any actor of all time, which I think is amazing, because I guess I didn't realize growing up how often you were there. Did you think it would, well, in a good way, because like I said, you were my favorite, man. Did you think this would lead to all of that?
Hey, look at the little Green Ranger out there. Hey, what's up, buddy?
He's got the old school sword too, like
yeah, he's like, what do you say, Sword of Darkness? He's like, I like the darkness sword. And I was like, yeah, Sword of Darkness.
He knows what's up.
So when I started the show, guys, I had 10 episodes, that's it. And I was told that, I'm told this a lot to every role I get. Emissary in Transformers, Bloodshot in the Ninja Act vs. the Valiant universe, every role I get, Omniboat, I just did a movie, Robert Redford, Adam Devine, every role I got always said, you know, it's not going to be that big of a role, but we'll put you in it. And the reason why it's become big is because I put all my passion into it. People see my hard work, they see what I can do, and I don't really worry about what tomorrow brings, because I think if people worry about what tomorrow, you forget about what you need to do today. So if you're focusing on tomorrow, you're taking 20 or 30% away from what you're thinking today, so you won't have a better tomorrow. I know I lose people there, but if you focus 110% today, you will have a better tomorrow and you'll have a better future. You know what I mean? For example, if you're working in a job and you want to be a singer, and all you're thinking about is singing, but your A job that's trying to make you the money and pay for your stuff is going downhill. So then you give singing a shot. What's up, guys? You give singing a shot, and then it doesn't work, and then you say, well, I can never reach my goals. But that's not true. Everybody has an A plan, B plan, C plan. Your B plan is what gets you through life, and your A plan is what you need to follow in your passion. So when I started the show, I didn't really want to think 20 years from now, 25 years from now. Although I do feel good that I don't have gray hair yet, but it's about to happen. I look like Back to the Future next year when I'm here. But, you know, and it just happened. It was one of those things where I did not ask to be the leader. Leaders are born, and there's, you know, everyone has a purpose in life. And if you're not, you know, serving your purpose of what you're supposed to be, then you're just wasting life. Your purpose needs to be something that you're passionate about. Passionate and purpose. And so if there's something you're passionate about, regardless of what it is, writing kids' books, I'll give you an example. There's a girl who cleans the gym's bathroom at my gym, and she's so passionate about it that I had to take the time and say, you know what? These are the best bathrooms I've ever seen. Thank you. She's just so passionate about cleaning. She really was a really good cleaner. So see, everybody puts people in certain positions that you're supposed to be here. Not everybody, I could not do your position, and you might not be able to do what I'm doing, but that's what makes life so great, you know? So I don't focus on what tomorrow's gonna bring. I focus all my energies today. And what I tell, is the little Green Ranger kid in here? Yeah, do you remember what I told you today? What the most, come up here real quick. Francis, get some video. Come here, sit next to me, right here. You're not the star yet, sit next to me. You don't get your own chair yet, okay?
I mean, I tried.
All right, what's your name?
Drew.
Okay, Drew, so, do you remember what I told you today? Do you remember what I told you the most important thing is? Do you remember? Are you sure? All right, well, what did I tell you that the most important thing was? I just do, you're making me look what I remember. Yes, no, maybe so. The number one fear in America is public speaking. So to put Drew up here at the age of 6, right, is probably frightening for him, but I'm training him how to be the next Green Ranger. Right? So remember I told you remember what I was saying? Do you remember it all? Family, remember what I told them? You family better remember about this. What did I tell the most important thing to do today? Y'all don't even listen to me. Remember I told you to smile and to have fun and to be happy, and then you can always remember what today brings, right? That's the most important thing because you're at a Comic-Con, right? Let me ask you a question though. or you hold the mic, you tell them what your favorite episodes were. And you better say green because we're gonna be in big trouble. I'm training you how to be the ranger, dude. Go ahead.
Green.
You have a favorite episode? You have a favorite episode that you used to watch?
Which episode made you want to wear that outfit?
Hey, quit distracting him, guys. It's hard. What was your favorite episode? Do you have one? Family? Green. That's what I was telling you, dude. Green with Evil. Give me 5. All right, buddy. Give Drew a big hand. May the power protect you. You guys know when you guys meet someone, you guys are the same thing, like, I had so much to say, and then you forget about it, right?
That just happened to me when you walked by. I was like, I don't know if I need to grab him or just let him keep walking.
Well, I thought this was it, but the most important thing, honestly, is enjoy your day and have fun. Especially that's what Comic-Con's all about, right? All your problems go away, and you don't think about all your other stuff. But man, soon when the con ends, you're like, back to life, back to reality. But don't worry, there's a lot of cons around the world.
So I gotta ask quickly, before we open up to some questions, hopefully, what was your plan A, plan B when you started this journey as a Power Ranger?
Well, I'm really fortunate because
You didn't have
I have 2 plan A's, and so when I was a kid, I had my first job when I was 13. Okay, and I was a bus boy. I've worked numerous jobs by the time I was 18. I had like 7 cars by the time I was 18. I hustled, and I had a job when I was 13. Being a bus boy, and I wanted this remote control car. It was like $200, and my dad's like, "You want it?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Get a job." I was like, "Oh." Saved up the money, and then I just didn't spend it. I was just like, "Ah, it's my money, you know. Like, why don't you buy it, Dad?" Anyway, so I had my first car at the age of. I had a really cool Volkswagen Bug, and it was my first car at 14. And I would polish it and clean it. And when I was 16, I drove that car. And then I owned my first karate school at the age of 18. So I had 2 plan A's. I wanted to be a professional martial artist and teach around the world and have schools. Because when you follow your passion, is remember the purpose, the passion, and you will get paid if you follow your passion. If you want to get paid, you have no passion, you have no purpose. So what's the point? All P's, look at that. Okay, so I had very passionate about my karate and also wanted to be an actor. The school I came from was from Red Dragon Karate. My instructor, Chris Casamassa, actually played Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat movies. So not only did we come from an awesome school that kicked butt, we came from a school that also dominated a little bit in Hollywood. And so I wanted to be an actor too, but see, I have 2 things I was thinking the other day. I want to open a chain of schools. I love that martial arts, and I love doing acting. But remember I told you I have 2 A's? I've done everything. I did carpet, I know how to lay carpet, I did restoration, water damage. You know, I flipped some pizzas at Domino's before. I worked at Kmart for a very small time. But all while I was still 100% active involved in martial arts. And remember, I got paid like $25 a month, so I couldn't survive on that. But it was like wax on, wax off, clean everything. I got to a point where I was like, this stinks. I'm gone, and then I went back the next day. I was like, oh, let me have my job back. So during all that, I still, fed my purpose of a martial artist, but I had to do all those little in odd jobs. I mean, I flipped pizza for a while. I actually liked it for a while until I was like, I want to do something else. So, I never struggled. Money wasn't always my thing. God's always took care of me, man. I've done really well for myself in businesses, and I'm fortunate to say that this is not my job. This is not what I do. It's not what I do to get paid. You can get stuff, you don't get stuff, I don't care. Your job is, like I told that little kid, to leave happy and smile and have a good time. So I don't want this to be my job because I won't have that much passion into it. You know what I mean? If I want to think about coming to a Comic-Con to get paid, when I do these shows, there's no appearance fees for me. Either you get something on the table or you don't have to. But I don't want to feel owned by an organization. I don't want to do something that I don't want to do, which means that I'm my own boss. Which you have to be disciplined, because a cool boss would be like, take off today, thanks boss. Take off to, I'm my own boss, so sometimes I'm like, I don't want to go to work, and I'm fighting with myself, you need to go to work, I don't feel like it. Suck it up, man, all those fans are waiting for you. So it's like schizophrenic in my bedroom, but that's just me, man, that's the way life is.
So you got like the evil green Power Ranger here, and you got the good Power Ranger here, and you're okay.
So what's your A plan?
What? No, you're not supposed to put me on the spot. My A plan. So I'm part of a group called the Geekiverse. I know Josiah, wherever you are. Stand up, Josiah. Did he leave?
Oh, he hid back there, I believe.
All right, well, bye, Josiah.
Is that him?
No, that's not him.
Why is he ducking? Why are you ducking when he says that? You, Superman.
Superman.
Hey,
Bye.
why when he mentioned the name, he just ducked and hid. So that's not you. All right, that's not him.
Josiah is from Buffalo, New York. He started this group called the Geekiverse. We do, like I said, comic books, entertainment, movies, stuff like that. So I mean, if that could be a job someday, great. Right now, I write for a furniture company in Michigan.
Yeah.
I came all the way from Michigan just to do this. So.
Thanks.
Yeah.
But the thing is that you're here because you want to be on stage.
I want to be here. I drove the 6 hours just to do this with you.
Yeah, and what's great about it is give him a big hand because this is something like it's something that we need to have a plan. Everybody has a purpose in life, and you need to have a plan. It doesn't mean that, you know, what's for me, what's happy in life is when you go to work and you don't like, this sucks. You're going to be like, I hate this job. Well, your whole entire life, you're going to be like that, I hate this job, I hate this job. Now, I'm not saying quit your job and just be a hippie, all right? And go live. I'm just saying that you have to find your purpose. We're all very talented. I get so much artwork here. I hear songs. I hear movie ideas. There's so much talent. Cosplay. You would imagine, well, I wish I could cosplay and around. Yeah, cosplayers have like 1 million followers. Is like sometimes more than me. So this industry, as long as you follow your passion, it will become, you know. So who has an A plan out there? Raise your hand.
Yeah, let's put you all on the spot, not just me.
Who doesn't really have an A plan? Who's not here because all your hands weren't even raised? So who's going to think about that tonight and start saying, hey, this is something that, yeah, raise your hand if you didn't think about that tonight. Some of y'all don't even raise your hand. Some of y'all are like picking your nose. What's the A plan? All right, think of your A plan. We'll go to some power ranger questions.
All right, yeah, let's get let's get to some questions. We're actually going to line up over here. You guys are right. First one, yeah. Let's do it up. Hey, you came to our booth. Thank you so much for coming to our booth. I appreciate it. Go ahead and ask your question.
You're welcome. Hey, Jason.
How you doing?
I'm great. What was your favorite part about playing Tommy Oliver?
Favorite part? Why are you stage going to be way over there like a cockeye? No, it's fine. Favorite part of playing Tommy Oliver? I created Tommy, man. Like, it was me, you know. It was, I was passionate about it. I just, you know, I don't think you guys understand that I had long hair. I had a ponytail most of my life. And before I started the show, my agent told me, who said, well, yeah, I'll represent you, maybe, I don't know, but you need to cut your hair. And I was like, that might not happen, man. Like, you know, I was a little pushy 18 years old. I was kind of like a pushy thing. And they said you need to cut your hair to look like an average, everyday kid next door. And I was like, I kind of do, but that's fine. So I cut my hair, went back to my agency. I said, hey, Mr. Agent, we'll throw him under the table, or what do you call it? Yeah. The table. We'll throw you under the table. Kids Academy, that's the name. So I went there, Bethany and TJ. I went there and I told them I cut my hair, and they said I don't have time to represent you right now. And I said, hold on here. I cut my hair. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm about to go postal. I cut my hair, and they said, I don't have time to represent you, and I was persistent. If I was not a persistent kid, like my dad taught me, I would have walked out of there with my head down and said, I'm not being represented. I said, I'm not leaving. I mean, persistent, not like jail-wise, but almost, to the point of like, give me something, like now. And they looked around frantically and was like, oh, this guy's not playing. And I was like, no. And he grabbed the script, and it was called Phantoms. And that was Power Rangers. And then I booked the show, and guess what? Agencies tried to sue me, right? And I won the case. I represented myself. But that's the point. So whatever that was, an ADD answer. But, yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi, Nick.
Oh, so that's it. I created me and then grew my hair back out. And then I was every normal kid next door running around without families and stuff.
Hi, Nick from Buffalo. My question was, I heard this rumor that I think on the set of Dino Thunder, when you do your usual EIing, you usually do like, you know, the breath before your EIing, you know, the, was it the SH kind of sounding breath or whatever?
The key eyes?
Yeah.
Like, like that.
Yeah, that one, yeah. I heard a rumor that Disney passed on a memo to you asking you to stop
Yeah, they did.
swearing during the fight scene. Was that true?
Yeah, they did. They sent me a paper warning me not to say SHIT when I'm keying because like that stuff. So I did that the next day. They said that's saying that, so I'm not. So yeah, it was. They were worried about cussing or something. It sounds like it, but obviously you don't know Power Rangers, man. And it was a little subtle. Oh, that was true.
Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Jason. My name is Amir. My question to you is, what is the difference between the Power Rangers that is created now to the Power Rangers which features Lord Drakkon and the Shattered Grid series?
We can't show Shattered Grid, can we? No, huh? That's great. Did you all see Shattered Grid? Raise your hand. Cool. So it's Lord Drakkon, half evil, half green, half white. Yeah, he'll disagree with you. Don't call him Lord Drakkon. I said that was before. It's true. It was like, that was before Lord Drakkon. Lord Drakkon, half green, half white. Ranger trying to take over the power, trying to be the ultimate god. No Ranger is safe in the universe of the Boom comics. It's an older version. I thought it was well done. Kyle Higgins, the writer and director, did that. I also did that. It was a Boom, the Saban thing. I believed in it. I helped with some of the organizing and financing on that project, and we really look forward to hopefully that will take somewhere, take it towards this age group. Nothing bad for kids, but Lord Drakkon's cool. So, remember the evil Tommy I had to when I was young. I was like, you will be, and all this stuff. So I had to think of like how Lord Drakkon would be. That's what I was like. All these Rangers, so much potential. Squandered for so long. Anyway, he's just trying to take over the world, man, and it was cool for me to go back there. I've always been part of the brand, guys, from day one to where we're at now. Go back in history and go track who was doing Comic-Cons, who didn't believe in Comic-Cons. I was doing Comic-Cons way back then for free, just like for everything else. I don't, like I said, take appearance fees. I was doing them before. I went back to Dino Thunder and I couldn't get one interview. Everybody was like, well, Power Rangers, that show is no longer existing. And I stayed with it, and I believed it, and the whole time. So that's why I think, Tommy, the character, has been in more episodes than anything, because I'm an actor and I embrace what I do and who I am. Some actors don't like to do that. Let's not talk about that. It's like, yeah, dude, talk about it. You know what I mean? You're a Ranger, you get that toy out. I'm not here to talk about your other projects. I'm here to get this signed, So, but yeah, it was fun doing Drakkon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Mr. Frank. I'm Jonathan.
Hi.
In the first season, when you were the Green Ranger, you had a cloth gold shield. I just wanted to know if you knew why they went with that instead of the foam shield.
Yeah, it was just budget. You have to understand, at that time, you guys were all little kids running around, right?
I knew about that. I wasn't even born yet.
So they didn't think you all would match it. They just thought, it's cool, it's good enough. You ain't gonna see the difference.
I knew it.
And I know, so did I, but I just went with it. And when I did Megaforce, they put the helmet, the stripe, the silver stripe Disney messed up on. Then they put me in the wrong morpher, which was silver, which should be gold. And I made them change it. I was like, look, you guys are selling gold morphers, match merchandising and make it gold. Well, what do you care? Because I'm going to be at conventions and people are going to ask me for the rest of my life. I Megaforce, I had a silver morpher, not a gold one. So we just kind of went with it, and you all didn't know the difference that early, and then you see Rita like, oh, yeah, I thought it was the same thing. The only reason I like that is because it had little pointy ends, so like I would pretend I don't see someone and then poke Dave in the eye and be like, what's up? And then over here, these people are like, yo, dude, you got a shield on. And I was like, yeah, I do. Best Ranger there is. Thank you.
Hi, Jason. My name is Sam. How did you become so many colors? Like, you were first green, then white, then 2 red, and then black. Would you ever try to be
You want to know the truth?
colors?
You want to know the truth?
Sure.
You can't handle the truth. That's right. The truth is, we ran out of Japanese footage.
Right.
Yeah, Super
Right?
Sentai.
We went off the Japanese version. We're like, oh man, this is make season 2. Let's make it in white. Oh man, we're going to season 3 and 4. So we just changed. It's a marketing thing too, guys, right? Toys and all that stuff. And the Green Ranger toy was hard to get. Yeah, I mentioned toys and she's like, "Mom, give me toys." So yeah, it's just different marketing. You know what I mean? And although the green and the white Ranger toys are still the number one selling toys in the whole entire world, is because they branded them much like they did with the Storm Shadow, the Ninja, the White Ninja, and G.I. Joe. Storm Shadow. They branded it like that because if you ever bought Storm Shadows, I love G.I. Joe toys. They only put a few in a box. And it sucked, so I just was going through all the other G.I. Joe guys like, nah, he stinks. Even though he's popular, I want that toy. And that's what they did with, that's what they did with the Green Ranger, and that's also how they branded a brand, a famous watch called Rolex. That's how they did it, is they branded very few in a box, and it became so desirable to get. That's why people were hitting moms over the heads with Dragon Zords, with Cabbage Patch dolls, and just going crazy, had to get Cabbage Patch dolls. There was a big fight in Toys R Us or something with the Dragon Dagger. Parents were like going crazy. I mean, do you think I'd like to see that?
No.
Yes, I do.
That's right.
Anyway,
It would have been funny if you
yes.
became a Pink Ranger.
That was on the weekends, man. That was very. that was a hard time, but I supported who I was, and, yeah.
Thank you.
Told you I never ran away from my identity, and
Hey, Sensei T-Matt, thanks for empowering me today.
what's up, buddy?
I actually want to answer your question about who has, I actually raised my hand because I do got an A plan. My A plan is actually become a director later in life, so I'm going to be going to school for acting and theater.
Nice.
Now, my question to you, because I actually paid attention, I remember for the Green versus White episode,
Yeah.
I have a funny feeling that the Green Ranger, the evil Green Ranger, was Lord Dragon himself before he came notice and shattered grid.
Well, you guys ever read those books that had those alternate endings?
Yeah.
You know, like you read it and then you're like, I have to read the other ending because I don't know if I picked the right ending. In those books, and Lord Draken is actually Tommy in that evil day when he decided that he wanted to turn good on the sand that day, or he decided that he wanted to stay with Rita. And Lord Draken stayed with Rita. That's why in the comic books, boom, he actually stays with Rita. Rita rules, but Lord Draken killed her, and he's taken over the world, type of thing. So that's who Tommy would have been. But it's me, so I don't really care. I was like, who's this Lord Draken? That totally sucks. He's gonna like kill me in the books. Oh, it's me? Fine. It's me in a different color, no problem at all.
Thank you, Sensei T-Matt.
Thank you, bud.
Thank you.
Hey Jason, Matt Buffalo. I'm actually going to derail a little bit and ask a different question. I know you've done the superpower beatdowns with Bat and the Sun guys, Green Ranger versus Ryu, White Ranger versus Scorpion. Who would you want to battle as Bloodshot and why?
Yeah, it's a good one. I play, like I said, I do a show called Ninjak versus the Val Universe. It's on comicbook.com. It was only supposed to be up for a week because I can't really mention why, but Vin Diesel's doing the movie and he's filming in June. So it was just such a good, strong, powerful show. I think they kind of wanted to contain that, but it is now extended due to the
It was really good.
demand. But Bloodshot was great because he's like the Wolverine with guns, and I like Lance True. I mean, he's like, he can't die. It's like whoever, I wanted that power where, like, let me just throw an arm back, whatever, Before with the superpower beatdown, I thought what would be really cool is when we did the Green Ranger versus Ryu. I really thought it would have been cool to play the evil Green Ranger versus Darth Maul. I thought that'd be really cool. And then with Bloodshot, I love John Berthman was a really good friend of mine, and nothing, but I think the Punisher, because people always will say the Punisher and Bloodshot and and all that stuff. So even though people might not have heard of Bloodshot, I worked 2 years branding Bloodshot all around the world. And then when you see a project go to like Vin Diesel, which is cool to pick up the brand Bloodshot, wish him the luck.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. But in all due respect, him doing the movie just helps me out anyway. Because every time they're like, oh, Vin Diesel, played by the original Jason and Frank, blah, blah, blah. Have you all seen the project? Honestly, you won't hurt my hands. It would actually be better. Raise your hand if you have not seen it. Okay, so if you go to comicbook.com, there's 6 episodes. Who has seen it? Okay, in the back. What do you think? Did you like it? Yeah? And so, if you love superheroes, you get 10 different superheroes, and you get to see Mike Rowe, who played Deadshot on CW, plays Ninjak, and Derek Theler. It's just great. I think you should watch it. If you want to see me in a different fight style as Bloodshot, you will be like, wow, this is super cool. So, but anyway. Hi.
your favorite?
Well, I have two. The very beginning of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and actually what you're wearing, Dino Thunder, I really enjoyed going back as a doctor because however I became a doctor, it's cool. And, I enjoyed the cast on Dino Thunder. I enjoyed the feel of it, and I enjoyed going back as a mentor. You know, I wore some glasses so I looked smart and stuff. So it was fun, but I enjoyed those two, MMPR and then Dino Thunder. Thank you.
Okay. So my question for you is, what exactly sparked your interest to even want to try out to become a Power Ranger?
Well, like I said, I do martial arts in a martial arts kid-oriented show. See, I like working with kids. I love teaching karate. I mean, the class, the 4-year-old kids class, and the 3-year-old kids class that nobody wants to teach, I want to teach it because I think it's cool when you can teach a 3-year-old kid how to do something and impress the parents. That means you can teach adults. Adults are easy.
Yes.
What was your question again? Because my mind's so fried again. What was it again?
It's okay. Well, first of all, I'm a teacher myself, actually.
Yeah.
So I teach all the little kids myself, too.
I love little kids. So it was back then.
It's okay. What was your spark to even want to try out
Oh,
to be a
yeah.
Power Ranger?
So I did martial arts and it was a kid show and it was just one of those things where I was famous already in my karate school as a sensei. Kids loved me, man. I would go to tournaments and the kids loved me and stuff. So doing it in a television show, I'm able to express myself through the television to kids around the world. Brainwash y'all now. You can see the passion, and when people watch that character Tommy, I was genuine. I loved doing karate. I was like the first one that actually did karate on the show, like legitimately black belt, and I changed the game of ki-eyes. Everybody's ki-eyes. Go back to the original Power Rangers and go watch how they ki-eye. A ki-eye is not yeah, like I changed the game. When I came in, everybody changed their ki-eyes. The ki comes from the bottom of your stomach, not your lungs. So that tells me, number one, if you're a real martial artist or not. And you train at a school, ki comes from the bottom of your stomach to help your stomach tighten up, not your lungs. Yeah, so when I came back, I think people saw, and I had legitimate training from people. Nowadays, you can like track my roots and see where I came from. And when I was on the show, everybody wanted to promote me, and I didn't want to take promotions. You don't know me to promote me. You're only promoting me because you think you know me because I'm on TV. So you know what I mean? So I just loved it, and I thought it was a perfect match.
Hey Jason, my name's Tony.
Hi.
And I want to ask, out of all the series you did, what was your favorite monster to fight?
Favorite monster? I like Zed. I like Ivan Ooze. We fought a lot of monsters, man. I can't even keep track. 25 years ago,
Goldar.
Monsters. We had a lot, but Lord Zed was probably the one just because I know the dude. At the same time, me and him always battled and stuff.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Mary. How you doing?
Good to see you.
So I got a question not related to Power Rangers. Can you recall the time that you had an altercation with Steve Urkel in your cameo on Family Matters?
Oh yeah, Family Matters. I like that. You know what's funny about the Family Matters? I don't think no one really knows this unless you go back. The guy who was the leader of the Piranhas, if you've seen that episode on Family Matters, was Ronaldo. And Ronaldo was on Power Rangers. He was on Power Rangers, and so I already knew him from Power Rangers. So when I went and got that the Warner Brothers Family Matters, I was like, oh man, I didn't know. So I saw him on that before, I knew he was a Ranger before, and then the MTV Undress show that was for 13-year-old people around the world, that girl who I did the show was the Yellow Ranger. So it's kind of a small world out there, and but yeah, I remember the Piranhas.
You were cast as Skull.
Yeah, that's right. That was
very
my name. I looked like a gangster, man. I had all my hair.
Guys, we've only got about time.
I'll be quicker on answers.
All right, we've only got time for about 2 or 3 more questions. Sorry about that. So we have to cut off after about 2.
Hi, my name's Cody, and my question is, did you ever hurt yourself through the morphing sequence through either Turbo or Dino Thunder?
Not hurt myself, but the timing was ridiculous, putting the key in all the timing, and we all had to do it together. And so yeah, it became a little bit more difficult. Not hurt, but just more ego hurt. Like I can't get a key in the keyhole.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey Jason, I'm Ethan, not to be confused with the Blue Dino Thunder Ranger.